So thanks to Cyprus last night, it looks like the market is going to open a bit lower. So right now, Sunday night around 7:30, looks like the S&P futures are down about 1%. Same with the Russell and the Dow Mini futures down slightly less, around 0.75%. But still looks like we might have a bad day tomorrow, thanks to the typical bad European politics that we've been dealing with for years. So this trade right here, this is going to be a long-term one. I think that and by longer term I mean maybe a couple months, but I think that the rewards from this one can be a lot greater than perhaps maybe the shorter-term ones that we do. Just one of the reasons why is because the strength of the stock is showing, and then second off is the speed at which this stock moves. So if we actually go back to, let's just say, a 5-year chart, what you're going to see is that pretty much the stock laid dormant for a while, and then in 2010 went all the way up. We'll just say that it went from about $7.80 to a top of about 37 in July of 2011. Now, even conversely, if we go back to last year, we see that the last time we had a basing pattern that went from about, I'd say, $12.50 all the way to, on average, about $20 in the course of about 2 months. So when this stock moves, it really moves quickly. So what I am seeing right now is we have this pattern here, and we have this long base, and then we go back up, and then right back down. And then right here, this is very typical of a major bottom in a stock or a commodity or even an index. We see this decline right here into a low, and then notice that the volume is very high. And by the way, if I didn't mention that yet, the stock is BAS, Basic Energy Services. So we have this pretty much high volume decline, and then we have a short rebound, and then we have another test of that low. And as you can see by the 10-day moving average of volume, if I actually turn this into weeks, you can see that from the time of this bottom, let's see, the moving average was about 8 million shares a day, to the time of this bottom, which is about 5.5 million shares a day. The interest of selling the stock has really diminished. So when sellers disappear, it's only a matter of time before we start to see buyers. And we can also see this extra strength exhibited in the volume. We can also see it on a moment basis. So if I go onto this weekly chart here and I bring up the relative strength index, you see that we have our first low right here, which corresponds to this low, and then after that we have the test of the low, which corresponds to this low. And you see that by the time that the stock tries to get down there again, the RSI, the relative strength index, that's why I use references, it's already in an uptrend. And the fact that this stock could manage to be overbought, that's also a good indicator of strength. But this is what is going to be most this is what the people from Option Millionaires like. You notice that this stock went up about 6%. It went up about 9% intraday on Friday. Now, of course, probably because the market, probably because of Cyprus, it's going to drag the stock down a bit tomorrow. But this stock is one of the most heavily short stocks in the New York Stock Exchange, with a short interest of over 15%. So there are a lot of people that are betting that this stock is going to go down. And as we can see, when this stock, when it breaks above old highs, like you can see right here, it goes up very sharply, because you have very skittish short sellers that do not want to be short a stock that, as you can see from the past, can go all the way up to $37.50 from $25 in about 4 weeks. So they don't want to be short that. So when this stock actually takes off, it's going to really take off. And nice thing is, it's down from overbought levels. You see that this climb right here is on basically no news. You see this big old volume spike right here. So that means there's a lot of investor enthusiasm going into the movement. So I'm talking about that one right there. So I would say if you want to, it's probably going to decline with the market, like I was saying. So let's say that this is going to go down a bit. I would say do a half position probably around the 1475 level and put your stop level. Don't make it too tight because, like I said, this stock moves around like a fish out of water. It's just everywhere. But make a stop, I'd say, around like the 13 level, and I know it's a wide stop. And then you can add to the other half of your position once it breaks above this previous high that they had right before they had earnings. And then from there, you know what my target would be? If I can look at this right now and just on a point and figure basis, and I'm just doing this in my head, if we did a one box with point and figure, I would say this would give us a target, a minimum around 25 bucks. So if you're willing to hold on to it and if you handle the volatility, I think it's a good one. And if you can't handle the volatility but you still want to buy, maybe do a covered call because the options, the premiums are very high. All right, thank you for watching, and like I said, don't buy it. Don't buy it tomorrow unless you see a really big spike down caused by the rest of the market. All right, thank you for watching and have a good trading week.